同学们，大家晚上好。我们今天的海外研究生院校云分享活动现在正式的开始。在我们今天的直播里呢，我们有幸请到了 Fordham University、Gabelli School of Business、美国福特汉姆大学加贝利商学院以及 Suffolk University 美国萨福克大学的招生官老师，为大家带来今天这场干货满满的分享活动。在今天的直播当中呢，同学们不仅可以了解到每所大学不同的优秀专业和项目，也可以了解到海外学习生活和工作的真实面貌。接下来我们将依次邀请各大学代表们逐一上台，每一所大学呢都会有15分钟的时间来介绍自己的学校。我们也会在活动中间向大学提问我们收集到的大家最感兴趣的一些问题。这些问题呢主要包括国外的学习、工作和生活这3个方面。当然了，如果大家也有非常想问的问题，也可以向我们经验丰富的招生官老师提出属于你们自己的问题。好了，首先呢，就让我们话不多说，让我来为你们介绍今天分享的第一所学校。下面让我们有请 Fordham University Gabelli School of Business 美国福特汉姆大学加贝利商学院的 Lawrence 老师。Let's welcome Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence.
Good evening.
Hi. Yeah, we all can hear you, so you can just start it.
Great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lawrence Murray, and I'm the Dean of Admissions at the Gabelli School of Business at Fordham University in New York City. Next slide, please. I'm here to talk to you about our portfolio of specialized master's programs. As you can see on the screen here, we have a wide variety of master's programs across 5 verticals: analytics vertical, business technology vertical, finance, management, and professional services vertical. As you can see, nearly all of our programs are STEM designated. So an international student pursuing one of our degrees receives the 2 years of OPT plus the additional extension for a total of 3 years of work authorization when they complete their degree. Next slide, please. While going to business school is definitely about getting solid business education, we also pride ourselves in developing well-rounded student leaders and leaders in industry. So in addition to the robust discipline-specific content that you will get in our academic programs, there's also some additional training to help develop you as a leader. And part of that is our Gabelli Thoughtful Leadership Certification. As you can see here, it consists of a leadership assessment, a leadership simulation, leadership coaching, and leadership networking. This is something that all specialized master's students do over the course of their time with the program. And again, this is to help, while it's one thing to be really good at your job, the technical components of your job, all employers are looking for students who are good communicators, students who are good leaders, who have demonstrated strong leadership, and students who are going to be good contributors to their organizational community. And that's what this is designed to help develop. Next slide, please. Again, when we talk about the reason why people go to business school, it's to get a job. Here's just a sample of the companies that have hired students or continue to hire students at the Gabelli School of Business in our graduate division. As you can see, it is a wide variety of companies and firms across a variety of different sectors. Next slide, please. When we talk about a career development center, here's just a quick highlight of some of the activities that our career development center deploys to help students achieve their professional goals and career aspirations. One-on-one career consulting. We have a number of different career spotlight series where pre-COVID we would bring people to campus to work with the students. Speaker series now in COVID, most of this is virtual. We've expanded our corporate company visits. So we've been able to expand what we're doing there because most of it is now virtual. So we've been able to expand significantly. Mock interviews to help students better understand the interviewing process and to hone their interviewing skills, and a very strong alumni networking program. And alumni play a big part in the Career Development Center and their strategy to help students achieve their career goals. Next slide, please. Here's just a quick sampling again of some companies that have more companies that have hired students. Next slide, please. We're situated right in New York City. So our mantra is New York is my campus, Fordham is my school. We recognize that the coronavirus has definitely upended the private job sector and public job sector for that matter. But we are rapidly re-engineering this sector to bring back these jobs. So in the next year or so, we should be back to pre-pandemic levels. Nonetheless, in the New York tri-state area, the tri-state includes New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. We have more than 9,000 alumni. Across the globe, there are more than 40,000 Gabelli alumni. And then if we think about Fordham University as a whole, there's nearly 200,000 living alumni around the world. So really strong alumni network to help students to help move the university forward, as well as to help engage with students in their job search and internship searches. Next slide, please. In addition to what you're doing to get your career and what you're doing in the classroom, we have a wide variety of student organizations that students can participate in. It's our expectation, we have a reasonable expectation that students are going to get involved in one of these organizations. This is a great opportunity to further your interest in any particular area. We have a wide variety of career-focused clubs like the Fordham Finance Society and the Management Consulting Association. We have a few affinity organizations like the Black and Hispanic MBA Association, as well as a Chinese Business Association. And then we have a wide variety of special interest organizations as well. Next slide, please. Next, you see our application requirements. This is pretty standard, so we don't need to spend much time here. We did make the decision a few months ago. As we move forward, the school will be test optional. So students have the option to report a Gmat or GRE score. It's not required, except for one program. Our quantitative finance program still requires applicants to submit a Gmat or GRE score. Next slide, please. Here are our application deadlines. Again, pretty standard. You can see here that the next decision or the next application deadline is January 9th. And then our final application deadline is June 11th. And these dates are pretty standard year to year. So the actual days may change. But if you're looking for fall of 22 or 2022 or fall of 2023, the dates are about the same every year. Next slide, please. Here's the information regarding our tuition and fees. Again, it's pretty standard. You can get more detailed information on our website. We charge tuition by the credit hour. So currently, the price is $1,682 per credit. Each academic program has a different number of credits. Again, if you follow the link to our website, you'll be able to see all the detailed information there. Next slide, please. We do offer a generous financial support for our students. Merit-based scholarships are given at the time of admission. For our master's programs, those range from $15,000 US to $35,000 US. We also award graduate assistantships. This is something students apply to once they've enrolled at one of our programs. And we also have a wide variety of continuing student scholarships. Again, the graduate assistantships and the continuing student scholarships are opportunities that you apply for once you enroll in one of our programs, and they are selective. And we also partner with several international student loan companies. Next slide, please. We have a wide variety of ways that you can connect with us, even virtually. We have a virtual campus tour. We have a whole host of one-on-one and small group chats, virtual information sessions, speaker series that are all available to prospective students and applicants. to all candidates. You can visit our website. All of the options are there. Next slide, please. Some of the things that just quickly, in terms of our response in COVID, I mentioned before that the Gmat and Gre are now optional. We did stretch out our deadlines to give students a little bit more time to apply. We have a significant investment in educational technology and even more significant investment in instructional design, making sure that all of our instructors are well skilled in how to deploy the educational technology. In COVID, we've been hybrid, so students who are in person can take classes in person. If you're not able to do that, you can go online. And in the fall of 2021, so this upcoming fall, our plan is to be in person. My guess is there still will be a hybrid component for those students who might not be able to make it. We definitely have strong health and safety protocols, which includes on-campus density reduction or social distancing. Next slide, please. Here are the members of our recruiting team. So if you have any questions about any particular program, you can feel free to reach out to one of them. Their email addresses are attached. Next slide. And that's it. So you can reach us. We have a Chinese website, a Chinese web portal. You can scan the QR code there. There's information on all of our application process, all of our programs, the application process, as well as some profiles of some of our students. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, cool, Lawrence. Thanks for your great sharing. So now we're going to jump right into the Q&A session. And I've already have the students ask questions. The first question will be the one student asked, does in our camp, do we have free language classes, can let students join?
I'm not sure. Can you repeat the question?
In our camp, do we have free language classes can let students join it?
So we do actually, for international students for whom English is not their first language, we do have a language communication and culture program. So students have the option of doing a summer program called Gabelli Talk that helps them develop their English language skills, that get more comfortable. It's really a confidence booster, as well as get a better understanding of the connection between language and culture. And once you enroll in the program, you also have the opportunity to join a communication exchange program where you're paired with a native English speaker who is either part of the university or not part of the university. We really have a wide variety of senior level people that are serving as communication coaches, and you typically meet with your communication coach one hour a week.
Great. And the next question is, when is the best time to apply?
Yeah, we have multiple application deadlines. International students should apply in either rounds 1 through 4. The 5th deadline, it's a little more challenging for an international student, depending on where they are, to submit an application. But between rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, it really depends on the applicant. So we want you to apply when you feel that you have the best application. So maybe you have maybe you're taking an additional class, or maybe you are you need to spend a little bit more time on your essays, or maybe you want to meet more students virtually to get a better understanding of the culture of the school. We want you to apply when you're ready.
Right. And the last question, because the pandemic situation and the students really care about this, so what's the school action for COVID-19, and the students can go back camp on time?
Yes, so we made the decision just a few weeks ago that starting in the fall, so September, we will be in person. So students will have the opportunity to take classes in person. We're still, again, in the spirit of full transparency, we're still figuring out all of the logistics. We will have smaller class sizes. And we do know that there may be some students who won't be able to join us in the fall for a whole host of reasons. So virtual or the hybrid will still be an option.
Okay, great. And I have so many students ask a question, so I'm going to pick the last one for it.
Okay.
And does international students, the school going to give the international students for scholarship, and how the students can get that scholarship?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we provide merit-based scholarships at the time of admission. You don't need to submit an additional application. All applicants are considered for scholarships. On the merit-based side, those scholarships range from $15,000 all the way up to $35,000. Once you enroll as a student, you have the opportunity to apply for a graduate assistantship, which also takes money off your tuition, as well as apply for a continuing student scholarship. So there are a wide variety of opportunities for students to seek funding.
All right, great. Thanks for your awesome answer, Lawrence. And so that will be all for your session today. Thanks so much for bringing us this opportunity to learn about our school.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Bye. 好，非常感谢我们 Lawrence 老师带来的非常精彩的分享。那么接下来呢，我们因为时间的关系，我们要请出了第二所学校登场 ，Suffolk University 美国萨福克大学的 Scott 老师。让我们来欢迎一下 Scott 老师。
All right. Good morning.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
Nice to see you. I'm good.
Yeah. All right, great.
You can start it.
We're up and running. Great. So thank you everyone for joining. My name's Scott. I'm a graduate admissions counselor with Suffolk University. I tend to talk fast, so I'll try and slow down. We talk fast in the Northeast. I'm also an MBA student, so happy to help Chinese students. And we can go ahead to the next slide, please. So I have a portfolio of programs. I've been with Suffolk for 3 years at this point, actually. I need to update these slides, but it's flown by. And we can go ahead to the next slide. So a little bit about Suffolk. We are in the heart of Boston. Much like Fordham is in the heart of New York, we're a little bit to the north and in the heart of Boston. We were founded in 1906. We are a private institution. We are mid-sized. So we have about 1,200 graduate students throughout our various programs. And we have a lot of international students. As you can see, about 25%. And with the majority of those actually coming from China. So you will not be alone in a new city. Particularly in the business school, we have a significant amount of international students. That's actually closer to 30 or 35%, depending on the program. And our faculty also, in the business school specifically, are over 50% international. So we teach international in scope, and we really like students to interact with people from different cultures. So you can go ahead to the next slide, please. So Suffolk is accredited by the major accreditation bodies in the United States. The important one, I think, to note is the AACSB accreditation, the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, and it's an international accrediting body. I believe there's about 370 schools in the world that have this accreditation. So it's one that we're proud of. It carries some significance around the world. So keep an eye out for that as you are doing your graduate school search, specifically in business, if that's the case. And next slide, please. So just so you can orient yourself to where we are, as you can see on the right-hand side of the map, we are on the East Coast. It does get cold, it does snow, but it gets beautiful. We have all 4 seasons. So right now things are thawing out and spring is blooming. So it's a beautiful time here. And if you go to the next slide, this is the Northeast, so we zoomed in a little bit. You can see New York, where Fordham is, just a little to the south of Boston, but also along the East Coast. And then further south of New York is Washington, D.C. So this is a very important area in the United States with a lot of opportunities. Obviously, New York and Boston are big hubs of finance and banking, but then also having Washington, D.C., a train ride away, a short train ride, is important if you're interested in politics or really anything. This is a great area to be in. So next slide. So this is downtown Boston. We have carved out a great little campus that is woven into the fabric of the city. You can see the financial district on the right-hand side. That's about a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk to campus. So we get a lot of part-time students that are already working at big financial institutions, and you will be in class with them. We do not separate part-time and full-time students. So being in class and working on projects with people who are from the financial district or working on Beacon Hill or Government Center, which is where 2 large government bodies sit, is also great. We like to say Boston Common, which is that green area, that's our quad. And, you know, in the summer, in the spring, when things warm up, you'll see students studying out there. We do events on the Common. So it's also a historically rich area. So really we are right in the mix of things, and our education is modeled to leverage that opportunity the most that we can. So getting your hands dirty and working with students that are currently in the field. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, it's global in scope. We have a lot of international students. Boston as a whole has a lot of international and people of different backgrounds in it. Experiential learning, so flash consultancy projects. There are firms and organizations all around us, some of them right on our campus. So ensuring that you have access to them, you work with them on flash consultancy projects, you're able to get internships. We do not just send you off and say, go find an internship, go find a practicum. We actually help you with that process because our faculty tends to be working in the field as well as teaching, if not consulting, or have worked in the field for 20 or 30 years. And it's outcome-based. Because we are not a giant institution, we're able to really focus on what you are looking for in your education and what your ultimate goal is and helping you reach that. Next slide, please. So Boston's business cluster, for those of you interested in business, technology, finance, and healthcare are our major industries. Not that we don't have others, but those are really the big ones, and the intersection of all of those. So fintech and biotech are very big in the city. We have a lot of startups. We're right across the river from MIT and Harvard, so a lot of startups and organizations start there, and we're able to make those connections as well. Next slide. So in terms of programs that we have, on the right-hand side, you can see the College of Arts and Sciences programs. So we have design programs. We have, if you're interested in law, we do have we were founded as a law school, so I didn't list it, but the law school certainly is very popular at Suffolk. And then in terms of the business school, we have an MBA, of course, but also a pretty large number of specialized master's degrees, and also dual degrees, which allow you to do an MBA and an MSBA by only adding a semester of study. And I think I get to that on my next slide. So next slide, please. Yes. So we do not only have MBA dual degrees, there are other ones, but I think the MBA ones are specifically important to highlight because of those 3 STEM designated programs in the middle, which, as Lars mentioned, allow you for 2 extra years of OPT once you graduate. And in this case, by doing a dual degree, you only add a semester of full-time study to your program, to your MBA program. So instead of, in some instances, a year, it's a year and a half for 3 semesters. So keep that in mind, and I can always help when it comes to navigating that process. And it's usually a big benefit, particularly for international students, because of that STEM designation. Next slide, please. So the Suffolk Mba, as mentioned, it's 14 to 20 courses. It can be done in a calendar year. And when it comes to our concentrations, we have 16 of them, so they're constantly evolving. And I will mention that the business intelligence concentration in the MBA is STEM designated. So that program also, without doing a dual, allows you to stay in the country without sponsorship for an additional 2 years for a total of 3. And really you don't have to declare concentration, but I think it's a great way to make yourself more marketable in the field. And we have, if you're interested in a specific area, odds are we have a concentration that will fit what you're looking for. Next slide. We also do travel seminars, so keeping with, immersing you in the field. We go to China, we go to Brazil, we go to Silicon Valley in California, Las Vegas, Germany is a very big popular trip. You go with the dean of the business school, actually, and work with Mercedes-Benz, BMW. London is a finance trip, so that is included as part of your program. And next slide, please. So financial aid, you are not required to submit a supplemental application for financial aid or merit aid. You will be assigned a package if you're admitted, and in your admission letter, it will state what that package is. And you'll also be assigned a dedicated financial aid counselor, so you'll have all that information at once. And next slide. So just a little about Boston. Being right in the middle of it, it's a great city. You're gonna love it. It's small, so you're able to walk across Boston in about 2 hours. So you really get to know the city, know the neighborhoods. There's a great art scene. And lots of different attractions. Next slide. Great, so that's my email. In terms of deadlines, also I want to mention we offer rolling admission. So once you submit your application, it will be read and you'll receive a decision in about 2 weeks. We do not have hard deadlines for the majority of our programs. So keep that in mind as well. Obviously, the earlier the better so that you can get your visa appointment. And we are preparing for on-campus instruction in the fall. And I will end with that.
All right, great. Thanks for your great sharing. So now we're gonna jump right into the Q&A session, and we do prepared like few questions that is students want to ask. So I'm gonna pick one. The first question will be, okay, what's the difference between the Chinese schools and the Western schools?
That's a great question. So I think obviously the main difference is keep an eye on whether you want to continue working in the United States or go back to China. I think with Suffolk specifically, there's a big emphasis on networking. So having a base of like-minded students, of graduates, when you're looking for a job is important. In terms of pedagogy, that's actually a really good question, and one that I'm going to look into now, because I'm not entirely sure about the differences when it comes to curriculum and things like that. So good question, and I appreciate the prompting me to look a little bit deeper into that, I guess would be my answer to that.
Okay, thank you. And the next question the students ask, like, are the courses intensive?
Yeah, good question. So at least in the MBA program, I can speak for that program. They traditionally run the 14-week semester. So they're not condensed into, say, 8-week modules at Suffolk, but they are intensive. You're doing a lot of different work. So you're doing textbook reading, you're doing business modules and case studies, and you're also working on your flash consultancy projects. So it is immersive. You're really digging in, and you'll be busy for sure, I guess would be the short answer.
All right, great. And the last question, let me check the chat box. Okay, so when is the best time to apply for it?
Yeah, the best time would be in your senior year of undergrad, or I would say as early as possible, just to start getting everything lined up and get your information and get your visa appointment, all of that. Since we issue your I-20, which allows you to schedule your visa appointment, we issue that at admission, not at deposit. So the sooner you're admitted, the sooner we can get that ball rolling.
Yeah, great. Thanks for your answer, Scott. So that will be all for your session today, and thanks so much for bringing out this opportunity to learn about our camp. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Have a nice day.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.好，非常感谢我们的 Scott 老师为我们带来的精彩分享。如果大家呢对我们萨福克大学有更多想了解的，大家一定要去关注一下那个公众号，然后呢也可以及时的添加我们的招生官老师去询问一些你们想问的属于你们自己的一些留学方面的问题，我们的老师也会细心的为您解答。然后我们今天的2所学校呢已经全部分享到这里就要结束了，也是因为时间的原因，我们没有办法充分的和每一位老师进行深度的沟通，也欢迎同学们下载我们老师的 PPT， 添加老师的联系方式进行更深一步的咨询。最后非常感谢大家今晚的到来，希望同学们也可以继续关注我们的更多的活动。好了，大家晚安，让我们下次再见。